Genslinger.
Here.
Jerza.
Here.
Larson.
Here.
Osterloo.
Here.
Benny. Schmitz. Sonny.
Here.
Dozier. We have a quorum.
Thank you. The information has been provided in the packet for today. Does anyone have a conflict of interest on the proposed agenda?
I'll be abstaining from that.
This is Jerza. I'll be abstaining from number 8.
Okay.
Okay? All right. We have the declaration of conflict of interest for numbers 8 and 10. Let's take a look at the agenda. Do I hear a motion to approve as presented?
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded that the agenda be approved as presented. Discussion on the motion. For those of you who may not be with us except via television, we are going to have to go roll call because one of our members is appearing at this meeting by telephone. So, Mark, your turn.
Genslinger.
Yes.
Jerza.
Yes.
Osterloo.
Yes.
Sonny.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
The minutes of the previous meeting of May 22nd were also included in the packet. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes that any of you noticed? Hearing none, we are ready for motion.
Move to approve.
Jerza. Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded that the minutes be approved as presented. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, Mark, your turn again.
Osterloo.
Yes.
Sonny.
Yes.
Genslinger.
Yep.
Jerza.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
The next meeting should be planned for June 26th. Do I hear a motion to approve the blanket?
Set the date.
Second.
Moved and seconded that the date be set for June 26th. Discussion. Hearing none, Mark, your turn.
Sonny.
Yes.
Genslinger.
Yep.
Jerza.
Yes.
Osterloo.
Yes.
Larson.
Yep.
Motion carried.
Next item on the agenda is a plan approval for Muth Electric at 717 Sanborn Boulevard, Zone Highway Business District. And I understand because it's in the Highway Business District, we do have to take a look at the plans and approve them.
Yep, that's correct. They've requested a building permit to put a 30-foot by 40-foot shed in the back west corner of their property. It's all on gravel already, so it's impervious surface. Public Works has no issues with what they're requesting to do at all.
Okay? Looks like storage according to the information that was in the packet. Discussion. Anybody from the audience got a comment? Let's go for a motion.
Move to approve.
This is Jerza. Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded that the plan be approved. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. Your turn, Mark.
Genslinger.
Yes.
Jerza.
Yes.
Osterloo.
Yes.
Sonny.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next item is a plan approval for the Danny Prom Commercial Building at 1425 South Burr Zone Highway Business District. This one is like this last one. We have to approve the plans.
That's correct. They've requested a building permit to build a commercial facility. It's on the same property as their existing building. In the packet, you have the site layout with parking in front. Shows the signage will be above the doors down here on the bottom left. They've got their elevations with everything. Concrete sidewalks around where there's sewer system and water's coming in. We have a couple of questions for them, but we can work through that with the building permit itself. That will work through that portion of it. Depending on what goes in there, will be parking requirements. There's 10 existing, but there's 69 or 68 parking stalls in their restaurant business, which is well exceeding what they need. They have 84 seats there, so really they only need about 28 parking spaces there. So if they end up, depending on what they're doing in here, need more parking, it can go into the other one.
Okay? City guys, like you say, you're gonna have to take a look at it when the building permit comes in. Anyone from the audience got any comments on this issue?
So we don't know what's going in this building.
They've been talking about business offices, or just maybe a commercial retail store, something like that.
Perspective then is
Yeah, yeah.
Do I hear a motion?
move to approve.
We have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded that the plan be approved as presented. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none. Mark, your turn.
Osterloo,
Yes.
Sonny,
Yes.
Genslinger,
Yes.
Jurza,
Abstain.
Larson,
Yep.
motion carried.
To the next one, another plan approval. Aaron Hemrick at 209 East 7th Avenue Zone Neighborhood Shopping. What's going on there, folks?
So the applicant came in to get a building permit to attach a 18 by 24 foot garage on the west side of his property. It is zoned neighborhood shopping and not residential in that area, so that's why it has to come in front of this board. At this time, he's requesting the addition to go onto the side of it with no doors, no overhead doors on the south side. He'd like to move forward if possible on the building permit portion of it, and then bring a variance in the future to see if the board will approve an overhead garage door at that time. But he knows if it's not approved at that time, he still can't put that door in, but he still would like to be able to put the addition on to begin with.
Okay. Any questions from the audience on what's going on here? Hearing none. Let's hear a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Do I hear a second?
Jurza.
Moved and seconded that the plan be approved as presented and discussed about. Further discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Your turn, Mark.
Sonny,
Yes.
Genslinger,
Yes.
Jurza,
Yes.
Osterloo,
Yes.
Larson,
Yep.
motion carried.
All right, number 10, conditional use permit. Jensen Capital and Development LLC has applied for a conditional use permit to construct a multifamily dwelling units located at 1303 South Almond Street, legally described as the east 625 feet of Lot X, lying north of X2 in the southeast quarter of the northeast quarter of Section 19, T103 North, Range 60 West of the 5th parallel meridian, City of Mitchell, Davidson County, South Dakota. The said real estate is zoned Highway Business District.
If you recall, this was at planning commission at our last one, or a couple ago, but it had to be tabled due to lack of quorum. The applicant would like to do multifamily housing on this parcel. He shows duplexes, but he said he'd prefer to do triplexes there. He can do 6 of them, so it'd take up about the first half of the property here. He's working with engineering surveyors to do the site plan and everything for it. So if it does get approved with conditional use, they have to move forward with that, and then that would come back in front of this board again for plan approval to make sure that they're meeting all the requirements that way. So it's the first step in what they'd like to do out there. It was published in the paper, notices were sent out to the neighbors, signed, posted, and we didn't get any responses for or against it at all.
Anybody in the audience got any questions on this rascal coming up to before us? How about commission? Any questions here?
Seems to be a good use of the land.
Looks like it would be decent.
It's been empty for a long time.
Yeah.
I'll move to approve. Second.
Moved and seconded that the conditional use be approved. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none. Mark, your turn.
Genslinger,
Yep.
Jurza,
Yes.
Osterloo,
Yes.
Sonny,
Abstain?
Larson,
Yes.
motion carried.
All right, next item, a conditional use permit for the Flower Shop LLC has applied for a conditional use permit to operate a medical cannabis dispensary located at 100 North Main Street, legally described as Lot 7, Block 12, original plat of Town, now City of Mitchell, Davidson County, South Dakota. The said property, real property, is known Central Business District. Mark, talk to us a little bit.
We received an application for this, 100 North Main. It was noticed in the paper, neighbors were notified, sign was posted. There was one that made the packet that was disapproval. Since then, I've received another one from Mr. Adamo from Gaston, and then from Gold Key Properties LLC. Gold Key Properties had a letter with theirs stating why they were against it. You all have those in front of you. Larry, I emailed those to you this morning, so you should have a chance to look at those. If the conditional use does get approved, the city still has to approve the licensing portion of this. Understanding is that they are purchasing or transferring a license from another one because we're only allowed 5 in town and one's not going to be opening. I can answer any questions you have, or I believe there's probably some people here that would like to speak for or against this.
All right, I'll bet you we're going to have some audience participation in this one. Anybody got anything comment on this issue that's before us? If so, please come to the podium, state your name, and talk to us.
Yeah, my name is Don Dahl. Many of you may know that I've relocated here recently from California to manage several projects on Main Street. I represent Mr. Adamo, by the way. I'd like to share with you, being from California and seeing dispensaries and the effects that they have in the community, I'd like to give you my take and a little bit of a personal of what's happened to our family. When the first dispensary opened in Sacramento, my grandson at the age of 13 was able to secure a medical marijuana card. Within a year, his grade level, he was at the top of his class, and within a year he had fallen to the bottom of the class and dropped out of school by the age of 15. The good news is at 28 now, he's had a small baby that they were going to take away from him because they found drugs in the baby system, and they're on the road to recovery, and they're getting their life back in order. My wife and I thought real hard before we moved to Mitchell, before we took on these projects. This is a big move for us to come here. Well, one thing that attracted us is that Mitchell was a small town America. It had a good moral standing. It was a clean town. The one thing that impressed me most, and that I know impressed Mr. Adamo for his investments here, was the fact that the city showed great compassion, I believe, as to restoring the Main Street to its original glory and to bring back that small town feeling and bring life back into the town. My opinion on the dispensaries is really simple. I think that they're nothing more than a legalized drug dealer. I get it. I understand the advances in medical marijuana, and I understand the advantages. But the dispensary issues has a tendency to, it's uncontrollable. Too many people have access to it. And it brings an element into society that is not conducive, I believe, to what the city is planning for Main Street. I think it's contrary to the city's vision, and I just would like to express my concerns to that. I know it's difficult. We've kind of opened Pandora's box with all this, and there's really no way to put the lid back on it, but the decisions you make today are the decisions that are going to affect the final outcome. Things in California are so bad that the wife and I, we can't really go downtown and have dinner at a restaurant and with outdoor seating because the smell has gotten so bad and the drug abuse. kind of overshadows everything. Recently, I've had a phone call from one of the apartments here, our buildings here on Main Street, when the lady called me in the middle of the night, and she was having trouble breathing. And she said that there was smoke in the building. Well, I got down there, and somebody had been smoking marijuana in the hallways, and it had gotten into her apartment, and she was having an allergic reaction to it. So these are just some of my concerns, and I would urge the commission to really consider how to respond.
Thank you. Your 3 minutes are up. Thank you. Anybody else? If not,
Can I, I'm actually the owner of, can I say something? Is it the appropriate time to say?
certainly,
Speak.
your opportunity. You got 3 minutes.
My name is Peter Deacon. I'm the owner of the flower shop, and we're looking to expand here into a Mitchell Market and run compliant, state-regulated medical marijuana dispensary. There's going to be absolutely no smoking as per city rules outside or inside of it. We have a strict odor control plans where there's no, we run one in Sioux Falls and there's no issues with smell. You get into that with like cultivation where they have more plants and processing than that. I think that location is absolutely perfect for that because it's zoned correctly. There's no daycares, there's no churches, there's nothing like that within the vicinity. As far as veterans go, I can tell you from my experience in Sioux Falls, we have tons of veterans as far as that they rely on this kind of product that helps them to deal with certain ailments. So this is, but I understand as far as the Mitchell community goes, but there's going to be 5 dispensaries here in this town, and, you don't have many places to put them, So this is one of the options, so I would like you guys to consider that, We're going to spend money on a building, it needs updated. I mean, there's weeds growing around it, and it's been looking like that the last 5 years, I think. We have plans for it to paint it, to update the siding, so we're going to spend some money on the inside and as well as exterior on it, so that's all.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, Commissioner. Go ahead, Larry.
this is Larry Dressel. I just wanted to ask, is this building a contributing building to the historic buildings of the historic district? Just looking at what they're proposing to put this metal panel skin over it or something, over the brick. I was just curious as to, do we need to run this through the preservation people here?
At this time, I haven't seen anything for that, so this would just be the business itself. If they are going to do any modifications to the exterior of the building, then they would need to, but for the interior, it's a business before it's a business now, so that wouldn't have to go in front of Historic Planning or Preservation Commission.
Okay, that explain, Larry?
Yep.
Anybody else got any questions or comments here? If not, we're ready for a motion.
Well, we had this discussion not that long ago on Fifth and Main. We didn't approve that one for a number of reasons. I don't recall exactly the reasons. Mark, do you have any background on that?
Actually, your 5th and Main, you approved the conditional use, you did not approve the variance. And you have approved the conditional use for the old Manhattan building where Genesis Farms is at. That's also central business.
And which one isn't going to happen? Is that the old Runnings building?
Correct, SMA.
With a park across the street, is there a variance required for that?
We do not have anything in our ordinance for that.
Now, remember, guys, if I remember right here, what we need to do, the motion, it should be to approve, and we can vote the motion down. Is that not correct, Mark?
That's correct.
So, we're ready for a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve the conditional use.
And I'll take my chairman's hat off and I'll second the motion. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, Mark, it's your turn.
Genslinger,
No.
Jurza,
No.
Osterloo,
Yes.
Sonny,
Yes.
Larson.
No.
Motion is denied for recommendation, but still goes to
Council.
council board adjustment next Tuesday for their
Okay.
final.
Next item, variance permit. Habitat for Humanity has applied for a variance permit for a rear yard setback of 16 feet versus 25 and a front yard setback of 18 feet versus 25 for construction of a house with a rear deck and a front porch located at 505 South Langdon Street, legally described as Lot 81A of Overlook Edition, City of Metro, Davidson County, South Dakota. Said real property is zoned R2 Single Family Residential District. Ooh, 50-foot lot again?
Yeah, we just approved these lots within the last 2 years. We had to replat them due to the cul-de-sac, and when that happened, we knew that we were shrinking them for depth-wise, that there could be some variances that needed to go with it. They built on 509 already. You can see that on the screen here. And so they're requesting to build right next to it for their next lot. The city of Mitchell had them and gave them to Habitat for Humanity. They'd like to put a shared driveway in between the two, so they're trying to pull the house as far forward as possible without encroaching too much. So really, it's a 24 to the house for the front and 23 to the rear instead of the 18 and the 16. But with the porch and the deck, that's really where your setbacks have to come from. The house to the, which would be the south, didn't require any variances for it because it fit in just barely into that setback there. Notices are sent out to the neighbors, published in the paper, posted with no responses for or against it at all.
All right, anybody from the audience got any comments on this rascal? All right, guys, what are we going to do here?
These aren't huge houses they're building either. These are what, 800, 1,200 square feet houses? Yeah, there.
I think they're about 1,000 square foot.
1,080?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is what was intended to do, so
Yeah.
Your regular shape.
I'll make the motion to approve it.
Second.
Moved and seconded that this variance be approved. Discussion on the motion.
Does the city ever intend to have sidewalk along this portion?
Yeah, the dog sidewalk.
Yep, they'll have to have sidewalk at least to the end of this one. They haven't put it in yet because they were waiting to do it with the breakout and do all the sidewalk at one time.
Put a shared driveway on so we can do it all together.
I can't answer. We are gonna do sidewalk around the rest of the cul-de-sac.
Is there a chance that sidewalk could get pushed to the back of curb to leave more parking space? Because 18 foot's just getting kind of tight,
We don't like to, just for snow removal.
right? Okay. That's all I had.
Further discussion or comments or questions? We have a motion and a second. So, Mark?
Jurza,
Yes.
Osterloo,
Yes.
Sonny,
Yes.
Genslinger,
Yes.
Larson.
Yep.
Motion carried.
Next item on the agenda, conditional use for the Corn Palace Stampede Incorporated. Corn Palace Stampede Incorporated has applied for a conditional use permit to operate a rodeo grounds located on North Olman Street, north of Industrial Road, no address created at this time. Legally described as Lot 1 in the south half of the northwest quarter of Section 33, Township 104 North, Range 60 West of the 5th parallel meridian. Said lot formerly within the boundaries of the Mitchell Municipal Airport, Mitchell, South Dakota. The said real property is zoned public lands and institutions district. Conditional use.
Yeah, we received the application for the conditional use for this. Notice in the paper, neighbors were notified, it was posted, no responses for or against it. The red line outline on your screen is what the total legal description that was just described is. The city has entered into a lease with this committee, and that is the green boundary. But what did make the packet, which is right here, Larry, you emailed this morning as well, is what their layout is for the arena site itself. Just kind of giving you the layout of the whole facility. This top left one, orientation is north is to the top, so Omen would be on the west side of the street there. And the second page, north would be on the right side, or excuse me, on the left side. That'd have to be rotated around. Really, the footprint of this fits within about the existing soccer field that's up there currently. But then, of course, they have their parking that's going to be for patrons to the east and contestants to the north there.
That was going to be my question, is where are they going to park?
There's going to be some work through issues as it continues on if it does get approved, but it's the start of the conversation for it.
Do we have anybody from the audience that's going to talk to us on this one? Okay, guys, where are we going?
Have any reason to say no?
What we're gonna do?
Yeah,
Move to approve. Second.
moved and seconded that we approve the conditional use and send it on to the council for further discussion. Is there discussion on that motion? Hearing none. Your turn, Mark.
Osterloo,
Yes.
Sonny,
Yes.
Genslinger,
Yes.
Durza,
Yes.
Larson,
Yep.
motion carried.
Okay, next item, recommendation on road vacation, not variation, vacation. Kelly Gross, Bart and Nikki Frederickson, Charles and Priscilla Stevenson, and CJM Consulting have petitioned to vacate a portion lying east of the west property boundary of the CJM property and not including any portion of the intersection of Indian Head Drive and South Harmon Drive. So this is out in an area that was laid out buku moons ago with roads and streets and telephone boxes and a whole bunch of things that nothing happened for a number of years. And then some building has occurred and it's been sold. And we're talking with people that have property abutting a supposed road. Is that not correct?
That's correct. There is public right-of-way there. It's an unimproved public right-of-way. As you recall, CJM Consulting platted a big portion to the northwest of where this is located at. And in their design plans for drainage, utilities, everything like that, with water already going this way for drainage, this would be a good spot to put a detention pond in for that. Within the petition to vacate, there's also some easements that go along with it that the owners then would not be able to put any permanent structures on it, and that it would maintain for 66-foot easement for the city to do with. I can answer any questions you have, or Public Works Director Schrader might be able to answer them better than I can.
Public Works, got anything to add?
Oh, sorry, I should add one thing. You did have a letter in front of you from Kelly Gross, one of the petitioners that didn't make the packet. Larry, that got emailed to you as well, and that's his reasonings for why he requested to have it petitioned. Sorry, Joe.
I have nothing to add unless you have questions.
Okay. Anybody in the audience got any comments on this rascal? Okay, guys, it's up to us. We're going to send this on to the council with our approval or not?
And this is just a recommendation. This board has no authority on vacations within the city of Mitchell or just outside, but we've always put them through in front of this board.
Thank you. I forgot to mention that.
What's your take on it, Jay?
I'll tell you what, I think, given the fact that this is laid there for umpteen years, and Chuck and company are doing some work out there, it looks like they're gonna have it laid out pretty decently, and they're gonna need a place to do some on-site storage for stormwater.
It's more for water quality, but it does detain some
Right.
runoff.
From a
And,
pub,
you know, I think the petitioners have got a point.
from the Public Works position, we support this vacation. We have no objections. And we would actually recommend that you approve it.
Well, and that's all we're doing, is we're gonna recommend to the council, they're the ones that make the final decision. But what's our thought on it? And, you know, we're supposed to be part of the public sounding board, and that's why people come to us to sound on things once in a while.
We're not usually in favor of giving back right away.
We're not usually in
This might
favor of
make
giving
sense.
back right away, that is correct.
Yeah, but for a good purpose. But I'll make the motion to approve it for recommendation.
Okay, we have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Larry seconds. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, your turn, Mark.
Sonny,
Yes.
Genslinger,
Yes.
Jerza,
Yes.
Osterloo,
Yes.
Larson,
Yep.
motion carried.
All right, next item, number 15. A plat of lots K and M, a subdivision of previously platted lot S of Maui Farms Second Edition, City of Mitchell, Davis County, South Dakota, as recommended by Maui Farms.
This is following along their master plan out there. It's a couple of last lots to be sold for, in this PUD for sheds for this location.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded that the plat be approved. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor? Oops, I can't do that, can I, Mark?
No.
Go ahead, your turn.
Genslinger,
Yep.
Jerza,
Yes.
Osterloo,
Yes.
Sonny,
Yes.
Larson,
Yep.
motion passed.
The next item is a plat of Lot 1 of Block 5 of the Woods First Edition, a subdivision of the east half of the southwest quarter of Section 23, 103 North, Range 60 West of the 5th parallel meridian, City of Mitchell, Davis County, South Dakota, requested by CJM Consulting.
This one follows along their master plan as well. I'm just planning out another house for, or another lot for development out there.
Now, for those of you who may not understand what we're doing here, a lot of these subdivisions have submitted a master plan of the lot layout and so on, and 99% of the time, it's not changed from the master plan. Once in a while, things come up, city guys want something different, the owner wants something a little bit different, and we do make some changes. But generally, if it's consistent with what we have seen before, our vote is going to be affirmative. We have a motion, we have a second. Mark, it's your turn.
I don't have a motion. or-
Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have a motion.
We don't, but we can.
Yeah, since you made all that.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if I want to now. No. I'll move to approve.
And Larry, did you second that?
I did.
All right, motion is made and seconded that we approve. Discussion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. Go ahead, Mark.
Osterloo,
Yes.
Sonny,
Yes.
Genslinger,
Yes.
Jerza,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
motion carried.
All right, next one. A plat of Lot 11, Block 9 of the Woods First Edition, a subdivision of the east half of the southeast quarter of Section 23, T103 North, Range 60 West of the 5th parallel meridian, City of Mitchell, Davis County, South Dakota, as requested by CJM Consulting.
Again, this fits within their master plan, it's for another dwelling out there.
Do I hear further discussion? Do I hear anybody from the audience making a comment? If not, we're ready for motion.
Here's a make a motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded that the plat be approved as presented. Discussion? Hearing none. Your turn, Mark.
Sonny,
Yes.
Genslinger,
Yes.
Jirza,
Yes.
Osterloo,
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next item, a plat of Lot 1A and 1B, Block 5 of Woodland Heights, First Edition, a subdivision of tracts 1 and 2 of Block 1, Cranes Edition, in the southeast quarter of Section 34, Township 103 North, Range 60 West of the 5th parallel meridian, City of Mitchell, Davidson County, South Dakota, as requested by Ethan Co-op Lumber.
So this one, you had the lot 1 recently actually, and then they built a twin home on it. Normally when they go to sell these twin homes, they go by the north half or the north so many feet of such and such. This one, the house got a little kitty wampus, so the center wall is not parallel to one of those lines, so they can't do it by that, so that's why they had to replat it into 2 separate lots.
Okay. All right, and there's a picture of it. Whoops.
Happens.
It happened. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So,
Second.
Moved and seconded that the plat be approved as presented. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, I assume we're ready to vote. Mark, go for it.
Genslinger,
yes.
Jirza,
Yes.
Osterloo,
Yes.
Sonny,
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
A plan approval, Cully Evers, 2700 North Main Zone Highway Business. And here again, because it's in a certain zone, we have to take a look at the plans.
Yeah, so, conditional use and variance was approved by the Board of Adjustment May 1st of 2023. It's zone highway business, so any plans have to be approved by Planning Commission. In the packet, you have the specs for the tower, for what this would be, and the location of it is the green box that's on your screen. It's approximately 307 feet from the west property line, and 47 feet from the east property line. This got brought up because during discussion of all of what they were planning to do, we requested that they replat it because of the easements that were out there, and the city realized that we needed an easement on the east side. So the next the next agenda item is the plat of this area as well, and they have an easement on that and location for the tower, so we decided that we needed to have the plan be approved before we have the plat be approved, in case something were to change for that. Applicants here, if you have any questions for them at all.
Applicant, do you have any comments for us? I think we have talked about this before, haven't we?
No comments right now.
Okay. Anybody else got any comments or thoughts?
Yeah, just clearing up something, Paul Cook.
Okay.
I just questioned, is this, would this be on the location of this being today? Of where the tower was supposed to be?
Yep.
Okay. There were 7 letters sent out. One person with 3, one person with 4. I had 4 myself. Letters sent to me. I disapprove of where the location is. We have plans to improve the properties all to the east side of that. This would put it very close to, I can have concrete asphalt we plan on within a foot of that boundary line on the east side of that property. So we can be that close to it and 30 feet off of that when we plan to build to the north of that, and such that tower, there's no guarantee that it can't be a safety issue for falling, anything like that. These plan on being residences of rental properties. And also there's another thing that I was going to talk about, and that was icing on a tower. I'm a power lineman, been one for 22 years. I know all about it. I know how it goes with icing. Okay? from 170 feet up, 180 feet up, even a small piece of ice can be deadly. We had it shear this spring, and this is on a larger scale over by Plankington. Come down off a tower out there. It blew off with the South Dakota wind 150 feet over and sheared off our fused cutouts for power lines. And these are very hard ceramic, sheared them. We had to go out and repair them all, and very scary deal when you have the ice come down to that kind of degree. So right there off that lot line, we have people getting into vehicles and vehicles parked right there. And if this is allowed to go through, vehicles be in trouble, residents will be in trouble, roofs will be in trouble. On top of that roof, underneath that tower I was just talking about, it's lined with railroad ties. The entire roof is lined with railroad ties. If you've ever been above it, I have. That is for ice damage when it comes down, so it can't go through the roof. So the location of this is no good to me. To the east, we need to work on moving that tower to another location so it doesn't come into effect with residents. Any questions for me or anything I can help with?
Any questions for the gentleman? Anybody else? Thank you.
Right. Cully Evers, I'm the owner of the property, and I hear his argument about the ice, and we have switched it out to a monopole type pole. Basically, it's just a large, straight-up piece of pipe. It doesn't have any X bracing and stuff like that for ice buildup to hang on and swing off. So what will happen is they'll collect on the monopole itself, the pipe, and as it warms up, that ice will slide down, and it should fall straight down.
Okay. Anybody else? Anything else?
Yes, and then he's basically concerned about his structures, in which I understand. I will be also building right up next to this also. It's built where its breaking point is halfway up, so technically it should swing and keep all the damage within my property. I mean, it's basically the same thing that's out to MTI. So I guess, yeah, I mean, as far as large damage, I mean, it's usually a natural disaster. I think everybody will have damage on all their properties, you know, so, but I guess that's my...
Okay. Anybody else? All right, board, it's up to us again.
Well, I'm sympathetic to both arguments, but I also don't have any plans in front of me that show what kind of a development's going to happen to the east. And I kind of feel like it's first come, first served to some extent. I don't believe I have a problem with the location.
Is that a motion?
Hear anybody else talking? I'll make that a motion.
I'll second. Mr. Hughes, I'll second.
Beg pardon, Larry?
I beat you that time, Larry.
Oh, okay.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Approve the plan. Is there discussion on that motion? If not, mark your turn.
Kinslinger,
Yes.
Jerza,
Yes.
Osterlus,
Yes.
Sonny,
Yes.
Larson,
Yep.
motion carried.
Next item on the agenda is a plat of Lot 1A of Brig Addition, a subdivision of the irregular tract 2 in the southwest quarter of Section 10P 103 North, R60 West of the 5th PM, City of Mitchell, Davidson County, South Dakota, as requested by Shelley Evers.
So this is the plat approach we were kind of talking about. There were 2 lots here before, vacating both of them actually to create 1 lot. There was an easement that came across and back to Lot 2. They've got the easement for the pole structure here. Where the city requested an easement on the rear, on the east side, which we have a water line going through here. And then there's going to be some easements on the front and for the highway, it's one of the utilities.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to approve the plat? Do we have anybody out in the audience that's got a comment on this rascal? All right, let's go for a motion to approve the plat.
This, Jerza, I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded that the plat be approved. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, your turn, Mark.
Osterloo,
Yes.
Sonny,
Yes.
Genslinger,
Yes.
Jerza,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
motion carried.
Is there any other business to come before this body at this time? Now it's time for public input. If you need to address the board on an item that was not on the agenda excluding personnel items, please come forward to the podium. State your name and your concern. Presentations are limited to 3 minutes. Items will be considered, but no action will be taken at this time. Seeing as no one is coming forward to the podium, this